Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Mr. Reinis Gailītis. I'm an immigrations officer and international admissions officer here in Rīgas University. Briefly, today I'm going to tell you about immigration procedure for applicants outside of the European Union and also applicants from EU. So first, let's start with the kind of more difficult immigration cases, which are for applicants outside of the EU, EEA. There's several of you in this intake, as previously also in Mari's presentation, you could see percentage of European applicants and percentage of non-EU applicants. But in a nutshell, let's not go through this spreadsheet, as we're already kind of running a little bit late on the schedule. But in a nutshell, we've been in touch with every single one of you. You're already undergoing your immigration procedures. If there's anything, any documents that you're missing, you need any other help from us, be in touch with us, write to us at immigration@rsu.lv, and we're going to help you complete your immigration procedure and so that you arrive here in RSU on time for the on-site studies. Usually at this point of the presentation, students are saying things like, but I'm an EU student. Immigration is not mandatory for European students, but I will suggest you to kind of suspend your disbelief, and I'll tell you a good reasons why you should also register in Latvia as an EU citizen. So, as stated just now, by law, immigration procedure for EU applicants is not mandatory. Also, this includes Norway and Iceland, which is a part of European Economic Area. And of course, for Swiss citizens. Why it is not mandatory? People from and students from Schengen area can reside in Latvia for 3 months without registering in Latvia. These 3 months usually correspond also to study breaks, to national holidays. So every 3 months or so, students usually go back to their home country, visit their parents, etc. Or visit just for weekends and so on. Hence, this criteria is usually met and they don't have to register in Latvia. But, as just said, we really highly recommend you doing that, because here are some of the reasons why you should do it. Because you have to register, and it's compulsory if you want to open a bank account in Latvia. For example, if you haven't got a driver's license in your home country, but during your studies you would like to learn driving here, you can do that fully in English. And for that you will need Latvian personal number, Latvian ID, getting all sorts of services, Latvian maybe phone number, internet connection, etc., etc. A whole slew of all sorts of services. Some additional reasons might be there, but most importantly, all the students at some point will have to register in Latvia for you to graduate, because at the end of your graduation, at your diploma, there's going to be a single line that states that your Latvian personal number is that and that. So towards the end of the studies, at any case, you will have to do that. It's a very simple procedure. Currently, since the COVID pandemic, Office of Citizenship and Migration Affairs, aka OCMA, is working remotely. So you will have to put together a neat package with all the necessary documents, which includes your study contract, your copy of passport, application form, and maybe some additional documents if required. So you put a neat package, send it to the OCMA, and they issue a decision that you've been registered in Latvia, and then you have to go to the OCMA to give your fingerprints, take a photo for your Latvian ID card, and that's it. It's a relatively simple process and takes roughly around a week or two. So even if it's not mandatory, if you intend to stay in Latvia for a longer period of time, there might be situations when it really comes handy. For example, when COVID pandemic broke out in the spring last year, at the very start, Latvian personal number was also required, for example, for you to get a COVID vaccine. So there is also, for example, a little bit of delay for some international students, for example, to get that before universities started organizing vaccination. And all sorts of other cases, you may never know when that might come in handy. One of the things that you'll need to register your Latvian ID is health insurance. It's not one of the application documents that you need to submit at the very start, but it will be required for you upon collecting your Latvian ID. A lot of the European students have this lovely blue card, which is a European health insurance card. Unfortunately, this particular card is not eligible for registering in Latvia because there's one crucial thing that it lacks, that's repatriation expenses. As you know, repatriation was quite also popular, if I can say so, during the COVID pandemic time, because people were stuck in different countries, needed to get back to their home country, and this is what repatriation costs are. So they help you get back. Unfortunately, this card does not cover it. So usually students for that get a local health insurance, which I believe is somewhere in the margins of 35 euros per study year. So not a particularly big expense. Here the criteria that the health insurance has to meet. If your health insurance, for example, your local health insurance meet this criteria, it also should be valid in Latvia. But for that, you're required to have a document from your health insurance that states all the things that it covers, and that it match these criteria. What else can I tell you about immigration? Here's the website section where you can find all the information about immigration. So when you go to RSU website, you have to go to study here, then upon arrival, and then immigration procedure. You're gonna find the information for non-EU citizens and also for EU citizens and EEA citizens. We also have a handy immigration brochure for EU and EEA citizens. It's located in our office, so if you need, you can also come visit us once you're in the university, and I can give it to you. But most crucially, there's our email, immigration@rsu.lv. So write me an email if you have any questions. If you want to register in Latvia, let me know. I'm gonna send you an email with kind of guide, step-by-step, how to apply for it. And I think that's pretty much it about immigration. Don't hesitate to contact me. I recommend doing it because it's really handy and will help you during your studies.
Thank you, Reinis. We have a couple of questions about immigration and about personal IDs.
Yeah.
So first of all, can students, do students have to register a Latvian address, or can they become a citizen, have a Latvian personal number, but still be registered in their home country?
That's an excellent question. Short answer is you have to be declared in Latvia. Upon collecting your Latvian EID card, you'll be asked to submit your health insurance and also to declare your address in Riga and show your rental agreement as a proof that you're living in that particular address.
And can you please repeat again, what is Latvian personal number and how can students get them?
Latvian personal number is basically the same thing as in any other passport, as for any other citizenship. Your passport has a code that is your personal number, and you basically get the same thing by registering here in Latvia. It's just like a unique set of numbers that by which you can be recognized in all sorts of government systems and e-health system and so on.
How does the immigration procedure differ for non-EU students?
It's relatively same for non-EU students. The crucial difference is that you can't enter Latvia just like that. You usually are required to have a visa. That's one difference. And then there's additional documents that you have to submit to apply for residency here in Latvia. And also one crucial difference is that EU citizens receive Latvian ID card. Non-EU citizens receive a temporary residency permit for 1 year that they have to renew annually.
Okay, thank you. And so people have to declare their addresses?
Yes, in both cases.
What if their address changes when they live in Riga?
That's a good question. In most of the cases, students would have to inform OCMA about their change in address.
Oh, and one more question about registering in Latvia and receiving Latvian personal code. Does it cancel out citizenship in other countries?
No, it doesn't cancel your citizenship, and also it doesn't guarantee you citizenship in Latvia. It's just an ID card by which you can be identified here in Latvia.
So in short...
no, your citizenship is not cancelled.
So you are still citizen, for example, in Germany?
Yes.
You have just registered in Latvia,
yes.
And you have mentioned that you live here and receive Latvian code, so you can access some government options.
Yeah, some different services, governmental and non-governmental.
Which I believe was quite helpful for those students who had them when COVID started, and both healthcare-wise, right, and receiving vaccines later on. Having personal code made the procedure easier for everybody.
Yes, at the start of the COVID pandemic, it was only possible to get vaccinated for students who had Latvian ID number, but later on it was also solved and all the international students had the chance to get vaccinated. But you can never know what kind of occasions might arise where this particular thing might be necessary or required.
Okay, and about the personal codes, do they grant some free services in Riga and Latvia, or do they grant some benefits?
It's a very good question. I would say that they don't really grant you benefits, but they give you access to some particular services, like opening a bank account, having internet connection, not really having internet connection, but to, for example, buy different services and so on. It might be required. But it's not like a discount card, and it won't give you any discounts in stores and so on.
And tying it together with healthcare, it doesn't provide free healthcare. If you have a European health insurance card, it ensures that the price you pay for healthcare will be the same as everybody who lives here and is registered and a citizen of Latvia. So it isn't a discount card, but it eases receiving some of the services, and it eases the technical side of living in Latvia.
Yes, I would say so, yeah, that's correct.
Okay, so I hope we have it down. Thank you so much.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, thank you, and yeah, greetings to all the students that I've been in touch with. Yeah, if you see me in the corridor once the study starts, say hi to me.